Welcome to the Discussing YouTube Features podcast. Each episode, we dive in on one of YouTube's creator features, dissect it, and let you know all that you need to know, and hopefully help you learn these features intimately and help you grow your channel. Let's join George and today's guest for more.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So you're interested in diving deep into the YouTube algorithm in 2025, especially from a creator's perspective. You've shared some great videos and articles, and it looks like we have a recent video from Creator Insider that's straight from YouTube's experts. I think we're in for some eye-opening stuff.
Absolutely. Hearing directly from the platform itself can be incredibly valuable. It helps dispel myths and really understand the nuances of how things work.
Right, like this first point that really jumped out at me. The algorithm doesn't actually push videos to viewers, it pulls them. I don't know about you, but that was a mind shift for me.
It's a subtle but important distinction. What's fascinating here is that it means someone has to already be on YouTube actively looking for something for the algorithm to even kick in. Think of it less like a billboard blasting out recommendations and more like a personal shopper curating options based on what the viewer is already signaling they're interested in.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not just randomly throwing videos at people browsing the internet. It's responding to an existing demand, pulling from the vast library of content to match what viewers are seeking.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting for creators. If the algorithm is pulling videos based on viewer behavior, then your focus shifts from trying to game the system to really understanding your audience and creating content they genuinely want.
So it's less about chasing trends and more about building a loyal audience who actively seeks out your content. That seems way more sustainable in the long run.
Absolutely. And it ties into another myth that this video debunked the idea that the algorithm gives up on videos. There's this fear that if a video doesn't perform well initially, it's doomed to obscurity.
I've definitely felt that pressure before. You check the analytics a few hours after posting, and if it's not going viral, it's like, I guess this one's a flop.
And that's just not how it works. YouTube's goal is to connect every video with its ideal audience, even if that takes time. Videos can gain traction later if they become relevant to a new trend, or if a viewer stumbles upon it while searching for something specific.
So basically, there's always hope. Even if a video doesn't blow up right away, it still has the potential to find its audience down the line. That's a huge relief for creators who might be feeling discouraged by early performance metrics.
It is, and the YouTube experts actually encourage creators to look at early data not as a judgment of the video's worth, but as valuable feedback. It can tell you if your title and thumbnail are effectively communicating what the video is about, if it's reaching the right audience, and if there are any tweaks you could make to improve its discoverability.
So instead of getting hung up on views in the first 24 hours, use that data to make informed decisions about future content.
Exactly. Focus on creating engaging content, crafting compelling titles and thumbnails, and promoting your video strategically. The algorithm will do its part to connect your work with the right viewers.
Okay, that's super helpful. It takes a lot of the pressure off. And speaking of pressure, what about the dreaded penalty box? I know a lot of creators worry about being penalized for things like taking breaks or having a dip in their views.
It's a common fear, but thankfully it's unfounded. YouTube has explicitly stated that they don't use such tactics. Their system isn't designed to punish creators. It's about finding the right audience for each video regardless of past performance.
That's such a relief. So if life happens and you need to take a break from creating, or if one video just doesn't resonate as well as others, you're not going to be banished to the algorithmic shadow realm.
Not at all. Each video has a chance to score goals, so to speak, regardless of how previous videos have performed.
I love that analogy. It really emphasizes the importance of treating each video as a fresh start and focusing on creating content that genuinely resonates with viewers.
Exactly. And that brings us to another key concept from the Creator Insider video. Viewer satisfaction. It's not just about getting people to click on your video anymore. It's about making sure they have a positive experience once they do.
So it's not enough to just chase clickbait titles and flashy thumbnails.
Right. YouTube is now taking into account factors like survey data and feedback mechanisms to gauge how satisfied viewers are with the videos they watch. They're looking beyond just watch time and engagement metrics to really understand if a video is delivering on its promise and providing value to the viewer.
Wow. So they're actually asking people, did you like that? That's pretty cool. So how does this affect creators? What should we be doing differently?
It means thinking about the overall experience you're providing to your viewers. Are you delivering on the expectations you set with your title and thumbnail? Are you creating content that is informative, entertaining, or emotionally resonant? Are you respecting your viewers' time?
So it's not just about chasing metrics anymore. It's about creating content that genuinely connects with people and leaves them feeling satisfied, even if that means sacrificing a few clicks or minutes of watch time.
Exactly. And that leads us to a really interesting question. If there's no single magic metric, how can creators measure success in this new landscape?
Yeah, that's a good point. If it's not just about views and watch time anymore, what should we be focusing on?
Well, the YouTube experts recommend shifting your focus from absolute metrics to goals. Ask yourself, what are you trying to achieve with your channel? Are you looking to build a community, drive sales, educate your audience?
So instead of getting caught up in comparing your numbers to other creators, figure out what success means for you and track the metrics that align with your goals.
Exactly. And remember that context matters. Comparing metrics across channels is misleading because every channel has a unique audience niche and content strategy.
So it's about finding your lane and focusing on what works for you and your audience, not getting distracted by what others are doing.
Okay.
But how can you tell if your content is resonating with your specific audience? How do you get a sense of what's working and what's not?
This is where the subscription tab becomes a powerful tool.
Wait, the subscription tab? Isn't that just a chronological feed of videos from the channels I subscribe to? What makes it so special?
What makes it special is that it's a controlled environment with no algorithmic manipulation. It's a pure reflection of how your core audience, those who have actively chosen to subscribe to your channel, engages with your content.
Oh, I see. So by comparing video performance within the subscription tab, we can get a sense of how our content is resonating with our most dedicated viewers without the algorithm influencing things.
Exactly. And the YouTube experts advise paying close attention to any significant dips in click-through rate or watch time within the subscription tab.
So it's like having a built-in focus group. It can tell you if your recent videos are resonating as strongly as your older content, or if there are certain types of videos that consistently perform better than others.
Right. If you see a sudden drop in click-through rate, it could be a sign that your thumbnail isn't grabbing attention or that your title isn't accurately reflecting the content. If watch time is dipping, it could mean your videos are dragging on too long or that the content isn't engaging enough to hold viewers' attention.
This is super helpful. It's like having a direct line of communication with your most loyal viewers. I'm definitely going to be paying more attention to my subscription tab from now on.
It's a valuable tool that can help you fine-tune your content strategy and make sure you're consistently delivering what your audience wants.
Okay, so we've talked about focusing on viewer satisfaction, understanding your goals, and using the subscription tab as a feedback mechanism. But what about reaching new viewers? How does the algorithm connect our content with people who haven't subscribed yet?
That's where things get even more interesting. The YouTube algorithm is constantly evolving, and one of the most exciting developments in recent years is the integration of large language models, or LLMs.
LLMs. Okay, I've heard that term thrown around a lot lately, especially with the rise of AI tools like ChatGPT. But what exactly are they? And how are they changing the game on YouTube?
Well, in the simplest terms, LLMs are incredibly good at understanding and processing human language. They can analyze vast amounts of text and code, identify patterns, and even generate new content that sounds remarkably human.
So they're like super-powered language nerds.
Haha, in a way, yes. But these language nerds are revolutionizing how YouTube recommendations work.
Okay, color me intrigued. How are these LLMs actually impacting the algorithm?
They're enhancing recommendations by enabling a deeper understanding of both the video content and the viewer's preferences. Remember how we talked about the algorithm using viewer behavior to predict what others might enjoy? Well, LLMs take that to a whole new level.
Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. This is where the deep dive really starts to feel deep.
Right. It's like going from using a basic map to having a hyper-detailed GPS system that not only knows the best route, but also anticipates your every need along the way.
I love that analogy. So the algorithm is getting smarter, more personalized, more intuitive, thanks to these LLMs.
Exactly. And the YouTube video actually used a brilliant analogy to illustrate the difference between older models and LLMs.
Oh, I remember that. It was the chef analogy, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Smaller models were like cooks following a recipe relying on memorization. But LLMs are like expert chefs, understanding the underlying principles of flavor, texture, and technique, and able to adapt to different situations and preferences.
So if the algorithm wants to serve up the perfect dish, video recommendation, it needs to go beyond just following a preset recipe. It needs to understand the nuances of taste and be able to create something truly personalized and satisfying.
Precisely. And that's what LLMs bring to the table. They can identify more nuanced patterns in viewer behavior and content, making recommendations far more personalized and effective.
Wow, this is all incredibly fascinating. But I feel like we're just scratching the surface here. What else do we need to know about how these LLMs are shaping the future of YouTube?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. One thing that's really fascinating is how LLMs are going beyond just keywords and looking at the context of your content. They can analyze the visuals, the audio cues, even the overall sentiment and tone of your video.
So it's not just about stuffing your description with relevant terms anymore. The algorithm's getting smarter about understanding the meaning behind the content.
Exactly. It's about creating a richer, more nuanced experience that goes beyond just hitting those surface-level keywords. LLMs can pick up on the subtle things that make your video unique and connect it with viewers who are looking for that specific vibe, even if they haven't explicitly searched for it.
This is making me rethink my entire approach to content creation. I'm seeing how important it is to think about those layers of meaning, those emotional hooks that draw viewers in and keep them engaged.
And that's a key takeaway for creators moving forward. As LLMs continue to evolve, we can expect even more sophisticated personalization and nuanced recommendations. It's about creating content that resonates on an emotional level, that caters to niche interests, and that offers something truly unique.
So instead of trying to game this system, focus on creating something authentic and engaging that speaks to your audience's hearts and minds. That seems way more fulfilling both for creators and viewers.
Absolutely. It's about building genuine connections, not just chasing fleeting clicks.
That makes sense. But I can't help but wonder about the potential downsides of all this personalization. What about the risk of echo chambers or filter bubbles where we're only exposed to content that reinforces our existing beliefs?
It's a valid concern, and it's something that YouTube is actively working to address. While personalization is important, so is ensuring that viewers are exposed to diverse perspectives.
So it's a balancing act. How are they approaching that?
YouTube is investing in tools and strategies to promote a healthy balance between personalization and diversity of content. Think of it as fine-tuning the algorithm to not only deliver what you want, but also to introduce you to new ideas and perspectives that you might not have discovered otherwise.
That's reassuring to hear. It's important to remember that YouTube is a platform for the entire world, and its success depends on fostering a vibrant and inclusive community where everyone feels represented.
Exactly. It's about creating a space where people can connect, learn, and be entertained while also being challenged to think critically and expand their horizons.
So understanding how the algorithm works, both from a technical and ethical perspective, is crucial for both creators and viewers. It helps us make informed decisions about what we create and consume and to actively shape the kind of online experience we want.
It really does, and that's why these deep dives are so valuable. They empower us to move beyond just being passive users and to become active participants in shaping the future of the platform.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. Debunking myths, exploring the concept of satisfaction over mere engagement, and delving into the fascinating world of LLMs and their impact on YouTube recommendations. Before we wrap up, I want to circle back to what you said about creators needing to apply this knowledge to their content strategies.
Right, because understanding the algorithm is only valuable if you can use it to create better content and connect with your audience.
So what are some actionable takeaways for creators? What practical steps can they take to leverage this understanding of the algorithm and thrive in this new landscape?
First and foremost, focus on creating high-quality content that genuinely provides value to your audience. That means understanding their needs, interests, and preferences, and delivering content that is both engaging and informative.
So it's not just about chasing trends or trying to hack the algorithm. It's about building a genuine connection with your viewers and delivering content that they find meaningful and enjoyable.
Exactly. And that means thinking carefully about your video topics, your storytelling approach, your visual style, and your overall brand identity.
So it's about crafting a cohesive and compelling channel experience that resonates with your target audience.
Right. And once you have that solid foundation of high-quality content, you can start to think about optimizing your videos for discoverability.
So that's where things like keywords, titles, descriptions, and thumbnails come into play.
Yes. But instead of just stuffing your videos with keywords, think about using language that accurately reflects the content and appeals to your target audience.
So it's about being strategic and intentional with your metadata. No more keyword spaghetti. And speaking of grabbing attention, let's not forget the power of thumbnails. They're often the first thing viewers see, so making them eye-catching and informative is key.
Absolutely. Think of your thumbnail as a mini movie poster designed to entice viewers to click and discover what your video is all about.
And of course, we can't forget the subscription tab. It's like having a built-in focus group giving you direct feedback on what's resonating with your most loyal viewers.
It's a valuable tool that can help you identify areas for improvement and ensure you're consistently delivering content that meets your audience's expectations.
So it's a continuous process of learning, adapting, and refining your content strategy based on the data and feedback you receive.
Exactly. And that's what makes YouTube such a dynamic and exciting platform for creators.
It's a constant challenge, but also a rewarding journey of discovery and growth. But what about those LLMs we talked about earlier? How can creators specifically leverage those advancements to their advantage?
That's a great question, and it leads us to some even more fascinating insights. All right, so we know LLMs are making the YouTube algorithm smarter and more personalized, but how can creators actually use this to their advantage? It feels a bit abstract, like trying to optimize for something you can't quite grasp.
I get what you mean. It's not like you can directly tweak an LLM, but here's the key. You don't need to grasp the LLM itself. What you can grasp is how to create content that these LLMs can understand and appreciate.
Exactly.
So instead of trying to outsmart the algorithm, we should be trying to speak its language.
Exactly. LLMs are really good at understanding themes, emotions, and those subtle connections that run beneath the surface. The more you can weave those into your videos, the better the algorithm will be able to connect your content with the right viewers.
So for example, instead of just tagging a video with travel, I might think about the specific feeling it evokes: the thrill of adventure, the peace of nature, the excitement of experiencing a new culture.
Precisely. And you could even go deeper. Think about the historical context of the place you're visiting, the personal stories you encountered, the unexpected lessons you learned. The more layers of meaning you can embed, the more the LLM can understand what makes your video special and match it with viewers who are looking for that specific kind of experience.
Wow, this is really making me rethink how I approach storytelling. It's like we're moving beyond just keywords and entering this realm of semantic storytelling where every detail contributes to a richer, more meaningful experience for the viewer.
That's a great way to put it. And it's a skill that creators who embrace this shift in thinking will have a significant advantage in the years to come.
So it's not just about making good videos anymore. It's about making smart videos. Videos that can communicate on multiple levels and connect with viewers on a deeper, more emotional plane.
Exactly. And that's where the real magic happens. When you create content that resonates on an emotional level, you build a loyal following that goes beyond mere views and subscribers. You create a community of passionate fans who are invested in your journey and eager to see what you create next.
That's the dream, isn't it? To create something that truly connects with people and makes a difference in their lives.
It is. And while the YouTube algorithm might seem like a mysterious force, it's ultimately a tool that can help you achieve that dream. By understanding its language, embracing the power of LLMs, and focusing on creating truly exceptional content, you can unlock the full potential of the platform and connect with your audience in ways you never thought possible.
This has been an incredible deep dive. I feel like we've been given a glimpse into the future of YouTube, and it's both exciting and inspiring.
I agree. It's an exciting time to be a creator, and the possibilities are truly endless.
So to wrap things up for our listeners, focus on creating content that matters, connect with your audience on a deeper level, and be open to embracing new technologies and approaches.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And there you have it, folks, our deep dive into the YouTube algorithm in 2025. We've debunked myths, explored new concepts, and hopefully giving you some food for thought for your own creative journey. Now it's time to take this knowledge and apply it to your own channels.
Remember, the algorithm is constantly evolving, so stay curious, stay creative, and keep experimenting. You never know what you might discover.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep. Until next time, happy YouTubing.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Check out the show notes for more details, including the links to the YouTube help articles and anything else discussed on the episode. This has been a DHYT production.